Hello everyone, welcome. This is Juliet here. Today I've been working on this very pretty, elegant little flower component. Here you can see I have made it as a pendant. You could also use it as an earring, or you could use it as a part of a bigger project if you wanted to. And this is the back, so it's just like flat on the back. I actually added a little loop right here just so that I could attach on the jump ring because I was having trouble like getting my jump ring through. So that's a little extra loop I added of seed beads right there. But yeah, it's a super cute little component. And it's using these really nice gemstone beads that are kind of green and pink. So these beads are 8mm and they are from nbeads.com, and I highly recommend you go check out their website. They have a whole ton of different products and they have really great prices, and I was really surprised by how many different beads they have. So they have a lot of different gemstone beads. They have things like these cute little, these are little, I guess like fringe or teardrop beads. They're a little 6x4mm, and they're so cute. I really love these little beads. And I decided to use them as like petals, but you know, if you wanted to use them for a fringe or whatever, I mean, they are so cute. And I've got two different colors of seed beads here. These are Toho, again, from nbeads.com, and they come in these cute little 10-gram packs with the little smiley face. So I'm not sure what colors these are, but I will put links to the products that I'm using in the description. So if you want the exact colors and products that I'm using, I will link that there. So I'm going to show you how to make this little guy, and like I said, he's very versatile. You know, he looks nice as a pendant, but you could use it as an earring. You could put several of them if you wanted. I think today I'm going to make it into a bracelet. So I'm just going to move this one off to the side. So yes, I've gone over the materials. You're also going to need a beading needle and some kind of beading thread, whatever you prefer. There's a lot of different ones, again, on nbeads.com. I'm actually using Fireline because that's what I normally use, but there are many to choose from. So let's get started. We're going to start by picking up one of our 8mm beads for the middle. And I'm just looking because I like the ones that have kind of a mix of the green and the pink on them. Some of them are just more greenish and less pinkish. Some of them are more pinkish and less greenish. So I'm just trying to find one I like. I like that one. That's a nice one. Okay, so go ahead and go through the bead and just hold, like leave a 6-inch tail, I would say. So all you're going to do is you're just going to put your finger there and hold the bead. And then we are going to pick up some of our pink seed beads here. And I'm going to pick up 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's 8 beads on my needle, and I'm just going to go right back through from the end where the tail is, go through again. So it will make a little loop around. Let me zoom you in just a teensy bit here so you can see. Okay. So we've made a little loop around half of the bead like that. We're going to do exactly the same. So pick up another 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and go through again. And so now we have 2 of these, one on each side. Okay, now it doesn't matter which 8 you go through, but you need to go all the way through one side of the 8. So this can actually be done even if you have a different sized central bead or slightly different sized seed beads, because different brands tend to sometimes be slightly bigger, slightly smaller, even if they're all called 11-0. You just need to make sure you have an even number of beads when you do it. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick up one bead, and I'm going to go through the next 8 on the other side. So I'm just filling in that little hole that you can see there. Okay, and again, there's a little hole on this side. So I am just going to add one bead. And then I'm going to go through the 8 beads, 8 more beads. And what we're going to do so that our project doesn't keep getting really loose is we're going to tie a knot with our working thread and our tail thread. Okay, so I'm here, that bead right there is the one that we added, and then we added one down here. So we're back up here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a square knot here. So to do that, I've got my tail end and my working end. I go right over left. So the way I do it is I put my needle over and twist it under. Pull that tight. Oops, it's caught on the corner of my beading mat. Pull that tight. And not too tight. You don't want to like distort it. We just want it to stay in place here. And then I lay my needle on top of the little short end again, twist it under, and that is a square knot. Okay, so we're not at this point going to weave this in because we don't want to block up our beads with the tail right now, so I'm just going to let it hang loose, but at least you know it's not going to keep coming loose, so you shouldn't have too many issues with it. Okay, so the next step, we're going to add the section here with these purple beads. So you're going to pick up 3 purple beads, 1 pink bead, and 3 purple beads. And once you've done that, the bead that, let's say we're moving in this direction, say we were coming out of, hang on, let's actually go through a bead so that we are actually coming out of a bead here. This is just to make it simpler to explain. Okay, so we're coming out of this bead here, going in this direction. So we're going to pick up our 3 purples, our 1 pink, and 3 purple. So I'm coming out this side of this bead. I'm going to go in the opposite side of that bead, and then I'm going to move forward 2 more beads. So I'm actually going through 3 beads. So the first bead I'm going through, let me get this to focus for you. Come on. Okay, it doesn't want to, oh yeah, there we go. So the first bead is the bead I was coming out of, and then plus 2 extra beads, so 3 beads in total. Okay, and what that's going to do is going to make a little loop like that that comes out of that bead and goes back into it. So we're going to do this all the way around, until we get back to there. So we're just going to pick up 3 purples, 1 pink, 3 purples, and just go into the same bead from the other side that our thread's coming out, plus 2 extra beads. Okay, so I'm going to just fast forward through me doing all that, and I will come back when we're ready for the next step. Okay, so I have done almost all of them. I've just gone through the last 3 there, and then I have just this 1 bead to do. So I just pick up my 3 purples, my 1 pink, and my 3 purples, and just go through that one and the next pink. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to continue through the pink bead that is at the base of our loop here. Okay, and you've got to be careful here that when you're pulling your thread you don't get looped around the petals. Very easy to do, unfortunately. So just be careful that your thread, just watch your thread. 90% of beading is actually watching your thread. Okay, so now we're going to go back up through these purple beads here. So we've gone through the base bead, we're going up this side, and then we're going to skip this pink one, and we're going to go down these purple ones. If I can get in there. Okay. That's 2 purple ones. And now we're going to pass up through the 3rd purple one. Okay, now if you notice here, my petals are kind of pointed. That's because of this extra step that I'm doing. So I'm going to skip this pink bead at the top here, and I am going to go down the other 3 beads on the other side, and when I pull it, it's going to pull that the 2 rows of purple together. See how they've kind of merged a little bit more together? And then I'm going to go through that bottom pink bead again. Then I'm going to go up just the first purple bead that we just, the same petal that we just put together. I'm going up this, just the first purple bead. And then I'm going to pick up one of my teardrops. So I'm entering into the fat end of the teardrop first, and then so obviously coming out of the skinny end, and then I'm going to pick up one of my pink beads and push those down as far as you can, and then you're going to go back down just through the teardrop, so not through the pink bead, just through the teardrop, and then the bottom purple bead on this petal next to the petal that we were going on, we're going to go down that. Okay, hope that makes sense. And pull. And what you may need to do here to get your tightness is if you hold that little pink bead with your thumbnail and pull, it'll tighten right up. See how that just pulled right up like that? And we do want it sitting kind of behind the purple beads a little bit. but we can sort that out in a minute. Okay, so we're coming down this purple bead. We're going to go in the bottom pink bead of that's at the bottom of the next loop. Go through the pink. Again, make sure you don't get looped on anything. Then you're going to go up the 3 purple. For some reason, I can only ever get up to, okay, go up the 3rd purple one. There we go. Okay, so just like we did here, we're going to skip that pink bead and we're just going to go back down through those purple beads, all 3 of the purple beads. Okay. And pull that so it sort of makes more of a point at the end. I mean, if it's a little crooked, like see how it is here, that doesn't matter. Okay, then you're going to go through the pink bead that is like at the base of that loop. And then you're going to go back up through the very first purple bead of the loop we just went around. You're going to pick up a teardrop from the fat end to the skinny end, pick up your pink bead, push them down, and then you're going to skip the pink bead and just go back down through the green, and then on the next petal over the very last purple bead. Okay, so I'm hoping this is making sense for you. I'll do it one more time and then I'll fast forward. And remember, you can pull the little pink bead at the end of the green and it'll tighten right up. And we want it actually behind the purple. Okay. All right. So then we go through the pink bead at the bottom of the next loop. We go up the 3 purple beads. We skip the pink bead at the top and we go down the 3 purple beads. That pulls together. Then we go again through that little pink one at the bottom of that loop. We go up the first purple bead only. Watch your thread, make sure you're not getting looped. We pick up our teardrop again from the fat end to the skinny end. Turn around. Turn. He does not want to cooperate. Okay, there we go. And 1 pink bead. I always just lay my work down for this and push it down. I don't know, it's easier for me. Okay, then we go back down through the green and through the purple that is on the next petal over the last purple bead there. And we pull. And we tug on that just to get it in tight. Okay, I'm just going to arrange this the way I want it so that these stick up. Okay, so I am going to continue around in fast motion the rest of these petals, and then we'll come back and add this pink section. Okay, so I just added my last green thing, and I just went through that bottom purple. So all we're going to do now is we're going to go through that bottom pink at the base of that purple loop and the next pink. So 2 pink beads, if I can get through, which I am having trouble doing right now. Okay. Oh, this is where my knot is. Maybe that's why. Okay. Let me zoom you in a teensy bit here. Okay, so I went through this pink bead at the base of this purple loop and then the next pink bead. So I'm kind of under this green thing right now. So all we're going to do now is, so yeah, basically these are like staggered between the purples. So we just pick up 3 pink beads, go through that same bead that I'm coming out of. So I'm coming out this bead, I go in the opposite end of that bead, but working in the same direction. If I can get in there. This can be a little tight, so just have patience. So yeah, you can see hopefully that my thread is coming out here and I'm going in here. This is the same bead with 3 seed beads, and they just form a little like loopy thing like that. So then we're going to move forward 2 more beads. So this is just like before. We're going to make a loop and then go through 3 beads. The first bead will be the bead that we are coming out of. So if I'm coming out of this bead, that's going to be the first bead that I go into. And then I go through 2 more, but I find it on this round that I can't go through all 3 in one shot for some reason, so I just usually go through 2 and then the last one. Just be patient with yourself. If you need to go through 1 at a time, just do it, because at this point we have a lot of threads going through these beads, so it can get a little tricky to maneuver. And also because there's so many flappy petals, you don't want to get muddled up. So just really take your time and concentrate. So again, picking up 3 beads, go back into that one that I'm coming out of, and then I'm going to go through 2 more. And like I say, I can only usually get through, oh, I managed to get through all 3 that time. Yay! And you're just going to continue that all the way around. So you can already see we're nearly done. Like once that's all the way around, we'll be done with our component, and all we have to do is tie off. So I will again fast forward and come back at the end. Okay, so I'm about to add my very last group of 3 here. So I just go back into the same bead, just like we've been doing before. If I can get in there. And I'm going to go through the next bead as well. And here you may have a little bit of trouble seeing what you're doing. Just try and do what you can. You might even be able to turn it over on the back and see what you're doing better on the back, because you won't have all the stuff part of my problem is this is where the knot is here, so I am having trouble. Okay. All right. So that is the component completed. I just need to kind of fluff it up now. So for weaving in the ends, what I have been doing is turning it over on the back, and what I actually did, I went around and just tied it again to this, and then I just wove the ends in before. But here I'll show you how to do a knot. So I'm just going to move a few more beads along first of all on the back so I can see what I'm doing. It's not helping me, but at least I can see what okay. Very tight now. There we go. Okay. So what I would do to tie off here is if I'm coming out of a pink bead, I just go under the row of pink beads, like around the pink beads, so that my needle just comes out like underneath the row. So I'm not going through anything, I'm just literally going under the row. And then I pull my thread a little bit, not all the way through. Sorry, this is my tail, so ignore that one. So see how I've pulled it a little bit and there's a loop formed there. All I do is I put my needle through that loop, and then when I pull very gently, it ties a little knot right there between those two beads. So then all I do is I continue moving forward through the next few beads. I usually don't tie knots at the beginning, I only tie them at the end. A lot of people like to tie a knot at the beginning. The only reason I did on this was because it was very hard to keep the tension right. You know, this is so tight, I don't even think I need more knots. I am just gonna run through some of these beads. Another option, if you're having trouble here, is you could go up one of these purple stems here, and you can just tie a knot there like this. So again, make that little loop, put your needle through it, pull gently. There's your little knot right there between the purple and the pink. Then carry on through some more beads, go back down the other side, and then I can cut my thread off. And then for the tail, I'll just put my needle on, and I'll do the same thing. I'll go in the other direction so that I'm not like fighting against my other threads. So because I was moving this way, now I'm going to move that way, so I'm not going in the same direction as my other threads were. So I'm going to go through a few, and then I'll do a knot. Oop, I got looped through a purple bead by accident there. Okay. So just get yourself under those pink beads. Make that little loop, get your needle in there, and pull. And then I'm gonna move forward a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut that off because I already had it knotted back where the where we were coming out of the 8mm bead in the center. Okay, so this has got all messed up by me doing that, so I'm just going to turn it over And I'm going to move my green beads behind my purple beads. Another thing you can do if you set it on your mat and just fluff it up that way. There we are. It's better. Okay. So if you were wearing this as a pendant, it wouldn't mess up like that because these want to lay on you, the green ones. So I mean, yeah, you can imagine how pretty it would be if you had several of these, for instance, and you know, you had some beads going, and then another one, like, you know, you could kind of do a nice thing like that. I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to do a bead and then maybe two like this, and then one bead, and then two like this. I'm just kind of showing you my designing process. Yeah, I like that shape. Okay, so I went ahead and finished. I made it a little too short for me, so I can't do it up, but somebody else with a smaller wrist will be able to. So this is what it looks like. And you could even like do some netting in between here to make it fancier. I mean, really make it your own. If you just want a single strand, that's perfectly fine as well. If you just want it, I kind of like this wider looking band. Just remember, I put a toggle clasp. If you're using a toggle clasp, remember you have to leave enough room to get to pull the toggle through. So make sure you leave a little extra bit of beads there. See how I have extra beads so that I can pull the toggle through and push it back out again. And anyway, so that is that, and like I said, you can use it as a pendant, you can put it into a bigger necklace, you could use it as earrings, whatever you want to use it for. But yeah, go and check out nbeads.com if you want these cute little teardrops, and also these really pretty gemstone beads. And obviously the Toho seed beads, they were a fantastic price. I think they were like less than $1 a pack. So thank you so much again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.